Hey everyone, welcome back. This week on Evergreen, I spent most of my time tightening the foundations and figuring out why my own systems were starting to fight me. Early on, I added an interactable coin. Nothing fancy, but getting collisions working properly, having the coin disappear when it was picked up, incrementing the UI and playing a satisfying sound made a big difference. It was the first time the world really reacted to the player and showed me how important feedback loops are. From there, I built out an interactable chest. That meant creating a separate scene, adding a prompt to press E, and then handling the animation sound and coin reward when it opens. On the surface it's simple, but pushed me to make an interaction system more reusable instead of just hacking things together. That's also where a few bugs started showing up. I hit some issues with chests throwing errors when opening, and a floating +5 text that refused to fade out properly. Both ended up being small mistakes with tweens, but were good reminders that most bugs aren't dramatic, they're just you misunderstanding something slightly. One very important lesson I learned this week is that live projects don't belong on cloud storage. OneDrive was locking files, slowing everything down, so I moved Evergreen fully into local storage. Instantly smoother, fewer headaches. Lesson learned. The hard way, but lesson learned. Here is where the game took more of a graphical turn. I added some basic world art. Grass, dirt, paths, water. Nothing polished yet, no edge cases, no fancy corners, but enough to stop the game feeling like a grey box and looking more like a game. Towards the end of the week, I implemented a very rough farming system. You can plant crops and instantly sell them on harvest for a few coins. Functionally it worked, but it felt bad to use. You couldn't clearly tell where the player was facing, and you could plant it on any tile too. It made it very messy and confusing. So I went back and refined it. I tightened up the placement logic, tweaked player movement and speed, and made the controls feel a bit more predictable. It's still early, but it's much closer to something that feels intentional rather than accidental. That's where things are at for now. It's still early days, it's rough in places, but the foundations are starting to settle, and that's progress. If you want to follow along with this journey, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next devlog. Thank you for watching.